Hello, this is your host, and this is one fact from history you won't learn anywhere else. Did you know that people once ate arsenic to improve their skin? You've probably heard about how a lot of the Victorians' favorite cosmetics were riddled with arsenic. But it gets worse. There were also products on the market in the late 19th century, like Dr. James P. Campbell's safe arsenic complexion wafers that were meant to be eaten. They claim to get rid of freckles, blackheads, and other facial disfigurements. That's one of the most interesting facts, not to mention strangest, we've learned in a while. Today we're taking a look at some of the most beautiful and deadly poisons out there. First up, let's start off with the beautiful blue. Cyanide, potassium cyanide specifically, was sold in the early 20th century as a treatment for acne. It was applied topically and was even included in some face masks. While small amounts can sometimes help increase the oxygen flow in your body, too much cyanide is obviously deadly. And when it comes to your skin, it's no different. Applying or ingesting too much of this stuff will stop your cells from being able to use oxygen, which will eventually lead to your death. It was taken off the market in 1974 after a few too many accidental poisonings. So if you've got bad skin, you can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that at least you won't be doing that anytime soon, but do not get too comfortable because there are plenty of other deadly toxins that have been used for beauty treatments throughout history. Arsenic is another chemical that has a long and storied past when it comes to its use in cosmetics. The most famous, or perhaps infamous, beauty product containing arsenic was the 19th century's favorite, white arsenic face powder. This powder was made by grinding up bones, which had a high concentration of arsenic in them. These days, of course, we know that arsenic is deadly, but back then it was considered a very effective way to treat acne, freckles, and other blemishes. In fact, people would often use it as a spot treatment for individual pimples, usually by dabbing it on with a cotton swab. As you can imagine, though, this practice led to a number of deaths. The most famous case was that of Mrs. Potter, who died in 1878 after accidentally applying too much arsenic to her face. The powder continued to be sold until 1941 when it was finally banned by the FDA. There was also the previously mentioned wafer treatment by Dr. James P. Campbell. He claimed that his wafers could cure a range of different skin problems, from acne to eczema to syphilis. Needless to say, none of these claims were true, and Dr. Campbell was eventually charged with manslaughter after a number of his patients died from arsenic poisoning. Despite this, similar products continued to be sold well into the 20th century. It wasn't until 1961 that the FDA finally banned the sale of any more arsenic-based products. Of course, there were also other non-toxic ingredients that were used in the Victorian era that we now know are bad for us, such as mercury. This was used in creams and ointments to treat everything from acne to wrinkles to unwanted hair. But mercury can be toxic if too much is applied, so it was eventually taken off the market. And while many of these toxins are no longer used in cosmetics today, there are still plenty of chemicals that are harmful to our health that we don't know will cause damage until it's too late. Take thalidomide, for instance. This drug was originally developed as a sedative, but it was also found to have some very serious side effects. When pregnant women took the drug, it caused their babies to be born with really serious birth defects. The drug was taken off the market in 1961, but it just goes to show that even the things we use to help us can turn out to be deadly. So what's the lesson here? Well, as with anything, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. But do you know what isn't deadly? Subscribing for more content. It's free, it helps the channel, and it means that you'll get all of the crazy facts before anyone else.